Next, you send what you have to offer. Next, once they agree to the info, you send the price. I never send the price like all in the info at once. Like I have them agree to the info first. Once they agree to the info, then they can agree to the price. And then I immediately get their email if you haven't already. So when I say if you haven't already, so if they fill out your online application, if you have one, you're supposed to be getting their email like right there from the start on your application. So you already have it. You get the supplements they want. You send the graphic. I have that graphic for you guys in the Action Academy on the supplements that they can start out with. They tell you what supplements. You send a share cart. And then you tell them, once you send a share cart, hey, I just sent you the email. Please let me know as soon as your order processes so I can welcome you into, the team page, however they signed up. So I can add you into the team page, the fitness community, and I can get you started with your first program. Sound good? Question mark. They're like, yes. They go check it out. They put their order through. Or next thing you know, they might ghost, and that's okay too. But regardless, you follow up with them in a couple days. Hey girl, did your order go through? Question mark. That's what I always say. If they still ghost, check in a week later. If they still ghost, check in like next month, whatever. But if someone has agreed to the price and they're like right there, they're going to sign up. And until someone has actually agreed to the price, they're probably not signing up. Yeah. So here's a few info options that you can send to people. And this is how simple this is. You either send the 4-minute body collections video or the 12-minute body partner video, which is updated. I just posted an Action Academy today. Body just updated it because it was body coach video, but now they updated it to body partner video. You can make your own. I need to mute everyone. Can everyone mute themselves? I hear like an echo. Thank you so much. You can make your own video. I did this up until literally last year. My entire business that I've built has been from self-made videos from either webinars that I've done or from where I literally recorded myself on Zoom explaining what this business is about and what it's done for my life and others. And that's how I've always gotten coaches, partners on my team. There is also 4 webinars in June. So 3 of them are from the CEO of Body, which check your email. So if you check your email, which please stay up to date with your emails because you get emails from the company and it's really crucial that you stay up to date with that. Now, if you have an email that you get just tons of stuff every day from like shops and random shit, I recommend that you make a new Gmail just for your business, especially if you're new to this. Like I started two Gmails when I started this business. So I have 2. One is like Sarah Jennings Fitness, and the other one is just like sjennings813@gmail. And that really helps me keep my email organized. Otherwise, I am that girl that literally had like 18,000 emails and didn't know what I was getting. So don't be that girl. Be organized and set up a Gmail. It probably takes like 5 minutes. I am also doing a webinar for anyone who wants to invite to it. I'm doing it next month. I want to start incorporating them into the team again. I did them for years and I stopped doing them, but I want to get back into them. So no excuses. This is exactly how you do it. It is so simple. When people are following for inspiration. So let's talk about new connections, right? You get new followers, whether you are proactively adding new people, adding mutuals, doing it organically. Maybe you gain followers from a reel you posted and these followers add you and you connect with them. If they're, like I have a connection script and I've been using the same one for years. I've tweaked it a little bit here and there, but it's basically like, I usually don't say, hey girl anymore. I usually put their name. I don't know. It just feels better for me at the spot that I'm in my life, but usually just like, hey, I'm just going to say Ashley. I always say that. Hey, Ashley, thank you so much for following my journey. It means the world. Are you following for inspiration or did you need help reaching something like, or did you need help reaching your goals? Either way, I'm super grateful. Love seeing other women supporting other women. And then they tell me why they're following me. So if they're following for inspiration, I immediately invite to the business. Immediately. If they immediately tell me they have fitness goals, I'm like, this is incredible. And I actually engage in what they're telling me because that's building the relationship. And if they tell me, like I'm really trying to, lose weight, or I'm really trying to tone or build muscle or whatever, like that is amazing. Would you be down to learn more about the fitness and nutrition programs that I do? And I have a script for that. And of course they're going to say yeah, because they need help. And then I send them my online form, they fill it out, and I do the conversation flow. And it's so simple. If they tell me, or I already went through all that. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, so okay, so if it's a yes, which it usually is because they're needing help anyways, I send them my fitness community form to fill out. I have like over 400 responses on my Strong Sisterhood form, but that's over the course of literally 4 years. So I get about 100 responses on that a year. Yeah. But that's because I send it to people, and other people have filled it out too, from me putting in the comment section on like my posts, or like call to actions on my stories, or on my posts, like link in bio or whatever. At the end of my form, it has a question if they want more info on the business. And 7 times out of 10, they will say yes, that they want more information on the business. So it's always a win-win. I send the info immediately to their email. And this is another reason why I say make an email just for the business, because it's easy. You have the Gmail app on your phone, you pull it up, you hit compose, copy, paste, send the information, send. Then you get in the DMs, hey, sent the email, check out the info, and I'll get back with you in a few days if I don't hear back from you before then. Sound good? Question mark. And then they're always like, yeah. I could do this shit in my sleep. But I usually, like, after I read over their application, I send them a voice message, because I want to go over their goals with them. I'm about to be their mentor. I'm about to change their life. So I'm not just going to send a message every time. I think it's really good that you get used to voice messages and being very personal with people, because they will join your team like a lot faster. And it's just, I feel like it's more relatable, and they'll trust you more too. So I go over their goals, their struggles, how I can relate, if I can relate to them. Like, a lot of people struggle with like binge eating and nutrition. I can relate to that like hard. So I'm going to tell them that. I'm not just going to be like, hey, got your application. Here's what I can offer you. Here's the price. Do you want to do this? I'm not doing that. And I tell them how excited I am that they want to do this with me. And then I also have a script if they just say they're following along. So say it's a new connection, they're like, hey, I'm just following along. I tell them, I'm just like, okay, I'm so happy you're here. I really hope that my stories and my posts inspire you, and I hope you have a great week. And then I put them on my follow-up list for the next month. So then the next month, I'll invite them to maybe like a sneak peek or a webinar or the next challenge group. And then anyone that's followed me, if they're not another one of your guys' followers, like I make sure that like I don't invite someone that you guys are already following, because then, like I don't want to invite your girls, which that's happened before. Like I know me and Taylor, like I really didn't know that Taylor knew this girl, and I had been inviting her for like 3 years, and now she's, in Taylor's challenge groups and stuff, and we know her. But apparently she knew her whole life, and I didn't know that. But I finally saw that Taylor was following her, and I was like, hey, Taylor, do you know this girl? So just make sure that like if they have a mutual friend that you maybe like message, like, I don't know, another girl on the team, hey, have you already invited this girl? Just make sure. So when I dive into my followers, or like people who have liked my stories or my posts, to invite them, it's usually always a re-invite, because I invite everyone that's at my page, unless, like I said, they're already a part of our team on another girl's team or something. Okay, so conversation flow. Show you questions here. Yeah, Taylor said typing their name makes it more personal than just, hey girl. Yeah, same. I've noticed way more responses from people too. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's get into the don'ts. Red flaggies. Sending the price first thing. This is a huge red flag. You do not want to do it. And if you're doing it right now, you're not doing anything. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. This is like a learning process. And business is new to you. It was really new to me too. And it took me a while to figure out, but these are things that I've learned along the years. So setting the price first thing, just stop. That should literally basically come at the end of the conversation. Overdoing it with the info. Stop beating around the bush. Like stop dragging the conversation on so long. This is another reason why I really encourage you guys to have an online application if they're interested. Otherwise, your guys are going literally back and forth for weeks, for months, for a year, because you can't get to the point of what they need help with. This would also be a huge factor in why you never sign anyone, because you're beating around the bush. You're not getting to the point, kind of maybe because of a fear, or you're not having confidence in the conversation and you're scared to like literally get to the point. So you just keep like talking and sending tons of information. Next, not genuinely checking in on them. Like you're actually not take the time to go look at their story real quick, or like their most recent post. Like I've been doing this too. And I used to not do this. And like, not that I'm beating myself up over it, like in this year, but like, you know, like that's just, you just live and you learn through business, and it's okay. But just take the time. If you go to like, follow up with someone, go to see if she has a story up, go engage in her story, or go like her most recent post. Like for example, a couple weeks ago, I remember I followed up with this girl, and then I went to her story and realized she was like literally in a different country on vacation. So I messaged her and I said, "Hey, I see you're on vacation. Looks like a blast. I'm like so happy you're having a great time. It'll probably be best if we connect after vacation, right?" Question mark. And she was like, "Yes, sounds great." So just like stuff like that. Like it doesn't always have to be so scripted, but actually like just be real. Like I feel like that's just me being real. "Hey, I saw you're on vacation. That's awesome. So happy for you. Should we connect like after?" And they're gonna be like, "Yeah." Like that is so much more real than just being like, "Hey, are you still interested in this?" And never taking the time to go like actually check them out. And it does not take long to do that. Like it probably took me 2 seconds to go click on her story. Continuing to message someone who said no, thank you. Guys, if someone says no or no, thank you, don't bombard them. They're not interested in that moment, but I promise they're going to continue to watch. So just let them watch, because eventually they'll probably be on your team. You know, Riley Newland, for example, she told me no, thank you like 5 times. But it was like I would message her and she would be interested, and then like I would say something else and then no, and then she'd be interested again. It was like back and forth all the time. Messaging someone who isn't following you, this is huge. You do not invite someone who's not following you back. Like that, I feel like that's kind of like a no-brainer, but I know people on the team who have, because I talk to a lot of women. So just don't. I used to do this too. Like it's embarrassing, but embarrassing for me. Like why would I do that? But just don't. Relying on them to get back to you. So a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, I'll get back to you." Okay, that's fine, but still put them on your follow-up list for like a month later, because I guarantee that most of the time when people say that, they forget. They forget too, so just continue to keep them on your follow-up list. And last one, acting and being desperate for the sale. You don't need everyone to say yes to you. That's kind of silly. Like it kind of is silly that people think that everyone should be saying yes to their invite and responding to them. Don't do that. Don't have that mindset with this business. This business will destroy you if you have that mindset with this. Because the reality is not everyone's getting back to you, and not everyone's saying yes to you, and you don't need everyone to say yes to you to build a very successful business. All right, do's. Be persistent and consistent with them through follow-ups, of course. Be the push that they need. You are their potential mentor, so act like it. And if you can step into that power, they will take you serious. I want to read that again. Be the push that they need. You know, there's a reason that like they're responding to you. So just have confidence in that and hopeful that they probably will sign, if not that day, if not that week, if not that month, at some point they will. Don't be afraid to conquer their objection. So I've probably been doing this for the past couple years, maybe even 3 years, honestly, because I just have so much belief in the company and like this. So when someone like tells me like, I'm a mom, I'm so busy, my kids are crazy, the list goes on. I send a voice message. I get it. I'm like, like I only have one, but like I get it. Knox is like equal to 3 kids and it's absolutely berserk. And I usually say, like, I don't really think that I have the time either. What is this red line? I don't believe that truly any of us have the time, but we make the time for things that are a priority. And I'll say that, on the voice message and be like, I truly believe that you can make this happen if you want this. And the majority of the girls on our team are moms or super busy in school, working full time, working multiple jobs. And if they can do it, you can do it too. Um, these programs are only 20 to 30 minutes out of your day. Does this change anything for you? And at the end of the day, that is the most I can say. And if she can't take that advice, and if she doesn't feel that in the moment, then like I did my job. But until you have conquered that objection with them, like they're probably not going to sign up with you because they don't see that. You haven't told them, you haven't poured belief into them. So I think like pouring belief into them in the very beginning in the messaging process, they're probably like, no one's ever believed in me like this. Like, wow, this girl just told me I could do this. You know what? She's probably right. I'm just going to give it a shot. Instead, you're like, this is what I used to do. Like, let's rewind like 4 years ago. Someone would say, I'm too busy. I would say, like, okay, and go on to the next girl. Like, no, no, everyone has the objection that they're too busy. I'm not going to let them go because they said that. Like, I'm going to figure out a way where you can make this happen. Be proof for them that they can do this and that they do have what it takes. So I kind of like just talked about that. Like I encourage them, if say someone's like they want to do the business but they're really scared, I'll send them another voice message like I get it. Like I was terrified. Like I still have yet to find someone as scared as I was. Like I literally used to like throw up. Like I would like cry before I would make posts because I would be so scared and like no one would believe that today. But I'm 6 years into this and that's the only reason. That's what makes the difference is consistency for thousands and thousands of days over time. But I'll tell them that. And it's good for them to know that too because they look at your social media and they see a confident girl. You haven't always been confident. So you can tell them that. And you can let them know like, "Hey, I'm going to guide you through this." That's I always say like people don't relate, to perfection. They relate to the journey, they relate to the realness, and they're not where they want to be yet either. So that's why people join you. So don't be afraid to like be a work in progress and don't be afraid to not be where you want to be at yet because the women who are joining you, they definitely are not where they want to be at yet. So let them know you are there for them when they are ready. I think this is like a really good one too. So like if someone, maybe was interested in the past, they've kind of ghosted a few times. I'm gonna do a team call within maybe next week, the week after that has like tons of fire follow-ups. And this is one of my favorite ones, but it's kind of just like letting them know like, hey, I don't want you to think I'm pestering you, but I also don't want you to think that I left you out of this. I just want to let you know that I'll be here when you're ready. And a lot of people like that message. They like the message and they don't respond, and that's okay because I know that they read it, and that means that they'll come back to me when they're ready. People appreciate this so much. And I kind of just said that follow up, but yet, hey, I thought of you with this because I know the last time we talked, you were struggling. Oh, okay. So this is another one. So we obviously it's $30 cheaper. I can't talk tonight. Cheaper to join currently. I never see Body do this. Usually it's like $20 off. I honestly can't remember the last time they did $30 off. So this is huge. Hey, I thought of you at this because I know last time we talked, you were struggling financially. Like actually remembering their situation is huge too. I wanted to let you know there's a sale going on from now until the 30th. If you sign as a partner, I can help hold you accountable to earning your initial investment back in as quick as 24 hours. Here is how. And I send them a voice message on how I'm going to help them do that. I know this takes courage. I know this takes confidence, guys. But if you want business builders and if you want partners on your team, you will act like a mentor. And they take you serious because you are serious about what you do. And Brianna's perfect example. She earned her initial investment back in less than 3 days. People do it all the time. So if she can do it, you can do it. And I also want to say one more thing because that's the end of this and I'm just going to do questions. So, Alyssa, she's on this call. I added her on Facebook. I added her because of mutual friends. And I invited her to the business like right from the get-go. And she signed up like that day or in that week. It was like a few days or in that day. And we had barely built the relationship. And now I'm like, I literally said this on past Zoom calls, but I'm like, you are me. Like I see so much of me in her, like her style, how she talks. Like it reminds me of me when I first started this business. And it's really wild to see. So I think like for me, I would always get like anxious when people would tell me like you have to build the relationship. Like that just gave me anxiety. Like I'm like, do I have to build a relationship with every single person? Like get to the point sometimes. So what I have found is that building the relationship isn't a long process and it doesn't have to be this long drawn out thing. You don't have to get to know people a year before you get them on your fucking team. And that's how I felt for so many years. Not even like I felt like I literally had to build a relationship for like a week before I could even get to the point. It's not facts. It's not facts. You can build the relationship from the get-go by just being real. I think that's building the relationship. And also, like I said, like sending voice messages and just being you, being real. And once they're on your team, you can build the best relationship ever. So that's kind of all I have. But showing up consistently is a constant reminder that you're still there. Trust me, they see your posts. And I say this because if you're also showing up, that's kind of like a follow-up. I once you hear from people that you're in their head and they can't get you out of their head, you know that you've won in this business. It's facts. It'll happen to you. Maybe not in your first year, maybe in your second year, but when someone comes to you and they're like, I can't get you out of my head, everything you say is literally in my head, you know you've won because you're consistent enough and that will happen to you. So let me get in the chat real quick. Um, what was the invite script you did for your followers? Yep, that was me. Is that Kelly? Sorry, your name's not on there. Yep, no more setting the price first. That comes at the end. Now, I'm going to stop the share for a second because there are people